Today we will how to everything Magic Kingdom. Stay tuned. Magical greetings, how-tooligans! Today we will dive into a few tips to maximize your day at the Magic Kingdom. I will be discussing the must-see attractions per age group, how to utilize Fastpasses the best, and where to eat in the Magic Kingdom. But first, please hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying my content and the bell for notifications on when I post new content, and do comment below with your Magic Kingdom questions or however your planning experience is going so far. I know I told you that this episode would be both Magic Kingdom and Epcot. However, as I was writing the script for this episode, it was going to be a novel, which would play out to like a feature film for you. And so I've broken it into A and B, this being part A. This is how much advice I have stuffed into this episode. What I'm going to do is break up the parks. So please do look for the Epcot episode as well. I don't know if I'm going to keep Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom together like I originally planned, or if I'm going to break them up. So keep those on your radar as well. Let's get started. Magic Kingdom is the OG of the Disney World Park Arena. It officially opened October 1st, 1971. In case you ever wondered why Disney World even happened, Walt Disney decided that the growth in Anaheim and Burbank areas stunted the growth of the Disneyland park, which it totally does. So Walt went on to sneaky buy a bunch of land near Orlando, and thus became Disney World. Sadly, Walt passed away. Or did he? On December 15th, 1966, which means he never got to see Magic Kingdom open. Do you think he would have approved of the finished park? What about how the park has evolved? Let me know in the comments below. I want to break this down into 3 topics and a bonus challenge that you can do at Magic Kingdom. Holding the keys to the kingdom. Number 1, must-see attractions for every age group. There are tons of attractions at the parks, and so I'm only going to be covering the top 10. Let's begin with our 1 to 6-year-olds. Okay, I promise I have a method to all this madness, and I'll explain why I put certain attractions where I did on this list as I go. Magic Kingdom is by far the friendliest for this age range. The other parks don't have nearly as much for the itty bitties to do as the OG Number 1, It's a Small World. The top choice for me is It's a Small World. It's got a lot going for it. It has a catchy song, at least for this age range. There aren't any drops, it isn't too dark inside, and there's a lot to look at. Did I mention it's inside? This makes it a winner for parents because AC, a place to sit down, and maybe even a small nap. Number 2, Dumbo the Flying Elephant and Indoor Playground. This got higher on the list than other Ride a Thing in a Circle rides because of the queue experience. It's perfect. You go into an air-conditioned tent, they give you a buzzer like you're at a restaurant, there's seats, and there's wonderful jungle gym towers for your kids to play on. When it's your turn to ride the ride, you wait like maybe 5 minutes, and then you get on Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Brilliant, Disney! Number 3, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This ride is cute, and unlike other dark rides, which means that they're indoors, there aren't too many scary moments. I'm not gonna spoil the ride for you, but all in all, there's only like one moment that might be a little scary for your little ones. You take this ride in a honey pot And I'm gonna be honest, if you have a 1 or 2 year old, it might be difficult for them to see, especially if they're situated between 2 adults. Number 4, Under the Sea, The Journey of the Little Mermaid. This ride is nice. You ride in a clamshell, but this one seems a little bit easier for younger kids to see over the edge of. It's a newer character that's based on, so I feel like tots may be more familiar with them than the classic characters. My complaints are mostly small. Some of the plot points they chose from the movie are a little strange. And there is like one part that might be a little scary to small kids. The good news is it never really has a long line. Number 5, Peter Pan's Flight. They have really been trying to improve queue experience in this park, which is great, and they also have the Disney Play app. I put Peter Pan here for a few reasons. I don't know a lot of parents that show their kids the more classic Disney films. This age range might not be familiar with the characters, so Captain Hook and the crocodile might be a little intimidating for younger kids. Also, it's very dark. The ride features black light lit stuff, and so if your kid has a fear of the dark, this may be a tough one. Extra cuddles and reassurance may be necessary. Number 6, the Tiki Room. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. I love this one. Cute songs, interesting animatronics, indoors with seating and air conditioning. There's really not a bad seat in the house too. My girls love the Tiki Room, and your kids will too. Here's a little tip. Come closer. Don't get your kids off of their normal schedule. It will ruin their day and yours. If your kid always naps at 3 o'clock, don't assume that he's going to be so tired from all the activity that he'll just fall asleep in the stroller. Sometimes that does happen, but what I like to do is plan all of the indoors, air-conditioned, sit-down attractions during nap time. Depending on the length of the show, you might be able to get your kid to sleep, and then when it's over, gently put them back in their stroller and move on to other things. Number 7, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. This one is really nice if you're a fan of the Toy Story films. You're going to be in the same hard for small kids to see carts, but these are spaceships that you can pivot left to right. And they include 2 blaster guns. This is going to be better for 4 to 6 year olds. It's a blacklight ride, but you have a mission, so you don't really think about it being scary. Number 8, Jungle Cruise. This one appeals to multiple age ranges, so I'm only going to talk about how it pertains to little kids here. Nice boat ride. And unlike a safari with real animals, your kids will get to see everything. One small dark section, but not scary. The downsides are it's outside and the wait can be long. Number 9, Mad Tea Party. A simple spinning ride that allows the occupants to control how fast they spin by spinning a large metal wheel in their cart. My girls were afraid of this time, and they're almost 3, but they loved it the last time we came when they were almost 2. The wait is usually very short, but so is the ride, so. Number 10, Pirates of the Caribbean. This is another one that's going to appear on the list more than once. It is a little scary, and honestly, I thought my girls were gonna be scared out of their minds. They ended up loving it. So much so that we had to get pirate Mickeys and Plutos, and they continuously sing yo ho, a pirate's life for me. I just wish they knew more of the lines of the song. That one verse on repeat is enough to make your eye twitch. Now, On to 7 to 13-year-olds. Number 1, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I really feel like this ride makes Frontierland. There is great theming for this ride, as well as a lot of wonderful queue experiences. The story behind this ride is that sometime in the late 1800s, gold was discovered, and miners coming to the area formed the town of Tumbleweed. The mining made the little town prosperous, and a large line of mine trains were set up to transport the ore out of the mountain to the town. But the settlers didn't know that the mountain was a sacred spot to the Native Americans, and therefore cursed! The mining continued to desecrate the mountain until a flash flood forced everyone out of the town, making it a ghost town. Sometime later, the town was discovered, and the mine trains were seen racing around the mountain by themselves without an engineer or crew, as if possessed. So, possessed mine trains. What a perfect way to make money! The Big Thunder Mountain Railroad Company was then founded in the ghost town to provide people with the ability to take rides on the possessed mine trains. The end. The ride is awesome. If you like roller coasters, animatronic baby goats, and feeling like you stepped back into time, then you and your kid will love it. Number 2, Space Mountain. A classic. There are 5 versions of this ride around the world. This Magic Kingdom exclusive was so popular that they actually made a Disneyland version because of it. It is an indoor roller coaster set in the darkness of space. Truly a must-see. Number 3, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I got to ride this for the first time ever a few weeks ago on our trip. It's really cute. I think it's nice to finally get a roller coaster in Fantasyland, and there's not a lot for Snow White, so that's a plus. It has great movie tie-ins, keeping with the theming that Disney's known for. And a fun little addition is that the mine cart that you're riding in is actually suspended in the front and back. Think like a hammock. This allows the cart to swing back and forth on curves and with you and your ride buddies' momentum. Definitely give it a shot. Number 4, Splash Mountain. This ride is my least favorite of the mountains at Magic Kingdom. It's a boat ride and you will get wet. The theming is cute. It's themed after the very old and blacklisted Disney film Song of the South. If you haven't heard of this film, Google it. It is an adaptation of classic Uncle Remus stories. Since its debut in 1946, it's been hotly debated. However, the ride itself is not racist. The Uncle Remus stories include the adventures of Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. The fox and the bear want to eat the rabbit, but he's always one step ahead of him. Hilarity ensues. The cool parts about this ride are the theming and the fact that it lasts almost 10 minutes. This ride has 5 drops, lots of animatronics, and of course, zippity-doo-dah! Definitely fun. Number 5, the Barnstormer. This one is technically a junior coaster, so if you have a 6 to 13-year-old that has never been on a roller coaster or is afraid of them, this is a great one to cut their teeth on. It only lasts 1 minute, so it's a great starter coaster. And who doesn't love Goofy? Number 6, Pirates of the Caribbean. Caribbean? I think this is the best attraction, bar none, in Adventureland. It's a dark boat ride, and I'm sure you understand it's the inspiration for the movie series by the same name. So, yeah, you kind of have an idea of what goes on in the ride. One cool thing that you should notice when riding is the scents. They pipe different scents out throughout the ride. I definitely picked up on burning wood and rum. My personal favorite. Number 7, the Jungle Cruise. Older kids will begin to appreciate the wisecracking captains of your boat. It's a classic and, of course, therefore has a movie too. I haven't seen it, so, I can't really say anything either way, but looks hokey. Number 8, Haunted Mansion. It's kind of funny. 6, 7, and 8 all have movies based on the rides. I might say that this same order is the quality of the movies. This one, like Big Thunder, has a pretty elaborate story, and I kind of think you're gonna enjoy the ride more if you know the backstory. So, here we go. During the ride in your doom buggy, I love that, it's so punny, you hear a ghost narrator, your ghost host, tell you there are 999 happy haunts at the mansion. Well, this story is about the first 3. Many years ago, Master Gracie and Emily were engaged to be married. But Madame Leota, you'll see who she is later, was in love with Master Gracie. Oh no! A love triangle! Leota decided to kill Emily so that she could have Gracie for herself. On their wedding day, Leota killed Emily and put her body in a trunk, which she then placed in the attic of the mansion. Master Gracie was so heartbroken at losing his Emily that he decided to hang himself. It's not really clear what happened to Leota. Now, here's the cool part. The ride itself actually has a plot to it too. If you want to experience it without knowing what the plot's going to be, then this is your warning to fast forward now. This is your spoiler alert. All right, everyone that's still here with me. The ride begins many years after the 3 have died. As you enter, you get the eerie feeling that the pictures are following you or changing. You're ushered into a parlor, and when the portraits in the parlor begin to stretch vertically, you can swear your eyes are playing tricks on you. Suddenly, the lights go out, and you hear a scream. And when you look up, you see the hanging body of Master Gracie. You get scared, so you try to run and escape. This is where you board your doom buggy. You then run through the halls and the library where all of the pictures are looking at you. You enter a room where you see Madame Leota calling for the ghosts that live there to scare you away. Now that the ghosts are awakened, the ballroom scene is the first actual moment you see real ghosts. You keep running and end up in the attic where you see the ghost of Emily in a wedding dress. Next to her is the trunk containing her body. Emily is angry and restless, striking out at you. She pushes you out of the window into the graveyard, now dead yourself. The groundskeeper and his dog are shaking when they see you because now you're a ghost too. The ghosts in the graveyard are having a massive party celebrating your death. Since you're now dead as well, the ghosts you see appear more solid to you. I know. Mind blown. If you have ridden this ride before, then all of this is going to seem so obvious, like, why didn't I figure it out for myself before? Okay, those who fast forwarded, welcome back. Sorry, that was kind of a long one. A lot of Imagineering went into this one. Number 9, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. I already told you about this one, so I'm gonna keep it brief. This is a fun one for the 7 to 13-year-olds because they have the hand-eye coordination and dexterity to actually play the game, which honestly kind of makes the entire attraction. Number 10, Tomorrowland Speedway. This is where you can drive a real Mark 7 car on a speedway. That's actually a metal track. This age range is going to love being able to be like an adult and drive a car. Do make sure you check the Disney website when you're planning though. This ride will close temporarily to accommodate construction for the new Tron ride coming soon. 14 and up. Number 1, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Okay, it's super fun. My tip for getting the best experience? Ride it at dusk. Not so dark that you can't see anything, but late enough they turn the lights on. It's awesome. Number 2, Space Mountain. This one is just fun, and the queue is indoors, so AC. I'd get to Space Mountain first thing in the morning, if I were you. Most people tend to work through the park by starting in Adventureland and working their way by the evening to Tomorrowland. So if you start the opposite way, you'll have the shortest wait times in the morning, and then also again during the parade. Number 3, Splash Mountain. It's a log flume ride, so there's that. You'll enjoy it if you like the feeling of falling from things. Never really been my forte, but to each their own. Also, a mostly indoor queue, and it's about 10 minutes long. You get to be entertained while sitting in air conditioning, which is why it ranks so highly on my list. Number 4, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This ride is newer and is the only roller coaster in Fantasyland, and therefore it's extremely hard to get on. I was thrilled when we were able to get Fastpasses for it, but we still had to wait about 15 minutes. Although that's not 150. Number 5, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's just a cool ride. I would ride it for the AC, comfy boats, rum, and Johnny Depp all day long. The last 2 are what I would want to have if I were abandoned on a desert island. Rum-soaked Johnny Depp. Sorry. That got a little weird. Number 6, Haunted Mansion. I honestly don't think there's a single thing I need to tell you about this ride. So, here's a random fact. The ghost host that narrates your visit to the mansion is the legendary Paul Frees, who also voiced Ludwig von Drake, the Pillsbury Doughboy, Boris Badenoch from the Rocky and Bullwinkle series, and a lot of pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean. Number 7, Jungle Cruise. Adults will enjoy the bad jokes from the captain, especially dads. Dads seem to love that eye-rolling humor. Number 8, the Barnstormer. It usually doesn't have a very long line, which means you can get a small roller coaster fix while your kids are riding Dumbo or playing at Casey Jr.'s. Number 9, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. It's always wholesomely good fun to be highly competitive over points that don't matter with your loved ones. This one makes the list because you're gonna wanna beat whoever's in the spacecraft next to you. Number 10, Mad Tea Party. If you or yours are in the 14 to 20-year-old age range, then spinning the wheel as fast as humanly possible is going to be the main attraction. If you are 21 and up, the fun thing for this ride is to head over to Liberty Tree, grab you a beer or 2, and then go on it buzzed. You don't even have to turn the wheel to spin faster. If you decide to do this though, don't close your eyes. That will make it into a bad tea party. Without further ado, holding the keys to the kingdom. Number 2, maximizing Fastpass. I know that last bit felt really long. This part's not going to require nearly as much time. A Fastpass is Disney's system for reserving a spot at an attraction. You have an hour window that you choose, and you come back during that hour, and you don't have to wait in line. Or if you do, it's not a very long line. I'll be telling you where the Fastpass kiosks are in the park and a little bit of strategy on how to use them. Before you ever arrive at Magic Kingdom, you can book up to 3 Fastpasses per day. If you are staying at a Walt Disney World resort, then you can do this 60 days in advance. Everyone who holds admission to Magic Kingdom will be able to do this 30 days in advance. Another little perk I mentioned in how to plan a Walt Disney World vacation video that I made here. Now, I know what you're thinking. I told you about 10 attractions that were must-see, but you can only book 3 Fastpasses. Better hunker down for some 60+ minute wait times. Nope, not true. This is where the strategy I mentioned comes in. Rule number 1, one person cannot have Fastpasses that overlap in time. So you can't have a Space Mountain Fastpass from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and a Splash Mountain Fastpass from 9:55 to 10:55 a.m. What you can do though is stack them very closely. For the attractions that you really want to see, try and get the earliest Fastpasses available. Then book the rest as close to that first Fastpass time window available. You're gonna do this because once you have used all 3 of your Fastpasses, you can get more. It is one at a time though. The mistake that I made that I'm gonna try and save you from making is that I spread my Fastpasses out throughout the entire day so that I had a clear direction in the park of where I wanted to walk. Meaning I don't go from Adventureland to Tomorrowland and then back to Adventureland. We ended up walking almost 5 miles a day, and that's with me knowing all of the shortcuts. You really kinda have to use both planning methods. Book your Fastpasses early enough in the day that you can get more, but also try to plan them in a way that you have a direction that you're moving in the park, so you aren't backtracking. The most desired Fastpass in Magic Kingdom is for Peter Pan's flight. Surprising, right? I know. I don't get it. The rest of these are attractions you should definitely try and get a Fastpass for. Depending on the age range you're trying to suit, you'll be able to pick the ones that are more interesting to you. Also, the time of year that you visit affects crowd levels, so take that into consideration. Our most recent trip was in September, and it was very low crowd numbers. The wait times for Peter Pan can go as high as 180 minutes. Now, these are the attractions that rarely, if ever, require a Fastpass. Nothing about these lists are hard and fast, meaning general crowd levels affect a lot. I'm just trying to tell you basically what the most popular attractions are so that you don't waste your Fastpasses. These are the attractions that could go either way. I didn't include meet and greets in my list of attractions because there's not really a lot that I can tell you about that you can't deduce on your own. What happens when I meet Mickey Mouse at Town Square Theater? Well, you meet Mickey Mouse at Town Square Theater. So, yeah. Now to where you can get more Fastpasses once you've used your first 3. One option is to download the My Disney Experience app. It's great. Tells you wait times updated by the minute, book dining, and get Fastpasses. Heck, you can even use the app to unlock your Disney World Resort door. So yeah, you can get Fastpasses on this app that will automatically download to your Magic Band. You can also go to several Fastpass kiosks around the park. Adventureland, Frontierland, in the covered pathway between the two, across from Swiss Family Treehouse and next to Diamond Horseshoe. Adventureland, next to the Jungle Cruise entrance. Fantasyland, outside of Mickey's PhilharMagic. Storybook Circus, in the tent next to Pete's Silly Sideshow. Tomorrowland, near the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin entrance. And lastly in Tomorrowland, near what used to be Stitch's Great Escape. The Stitch sign is still up, so you'll know how to get there. Holding the keys to the kingdom. Number 3, where to eat. Okay, I'm gonna break up the dining by the type of service, and I'm also gonna let you know what I would get from there. The Friar's Nook, loaded buffalo chicken tots. These are so good that Mike almost cried when he dropped them halfway through eating them. He vowed that we are to recreate them here at our house. Stay tuned for that. Casey's Corner, mac and cheese, a foot-long hot dog. It's hard to find a bad dog at Casey's, but I love mac and cheese, so this one holds my heart. Sleepy Hollow, sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich. This is delicious, but it's big enough to share, so make sure you go halvesies on it. Aloha Isle Pineapple Dole Whip Cup. It's a twist on a classic. Definitely a must try. The Cheshire Cafe. The Cheshire Cattail Pastry. I wasn't expecting how good this was. It was so good that after the first bite, I instantly regretted not telling Mike to grab us 2 of them instead of 1. Liberty Square Market. Candied bacon skewer. It's bacon. That's all I need to say. The Lunching Pad. Pepper Jack warm stuffed pretzel. This is just melty, delicious goodness. Golden Oak Outpost. Fried cauliflower. I haven't tried these, but they looked and smelled amazing. And it's a really good option for a healthy-ish snack and maybe something that's vegetarian. Storybook Treats. Peter Pan Float. Again, I haven't tried this one. I probably need to pause here and let you know that I'm more into savory snacks than I am sweet. So that might impact my list. Gaston's Tavern, the warm cinnamon roll. This would be an amazing breakfast option, but I kind of feel like Gaston's needs to open a little earlier. Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe. Chicken nachos. I love this place. They've turned it into kind of a Tex-Mex restaurant, and it's never been better. There's even a nacho food challenge secret menu item here, if you're up to the challenge. Columbia Harbor House, shrimp and fish combo. It's nice to get a classic like this. They're fried to perfection. Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, the pork belly burger. I haven't tried this yet, but it had me at pork belly. Pinocchio's Village House, chicken parm pasta. This is like my second favorite Italian dish, and this version, it's not bad at all. Tortuga Tavern rum cake. Everything else is kind of meh, but rum cake, yum. Tony's Town Square Restaurant, the Italian Trio. I like Italian food, so this is a natural choice for me. We went here because we bought the VIP parade seating / dining package. Also, they have these noodles. They look like fat spaghetti, but they're actually tubes. I thought that made it even better. The Crystal Palace buffet was amazing. This is a Pooh and Friends character meal. We went for lunch and the experience was so cute. I'm actually gonna post a video showing how much fun the girls had. But I was blown away with the buffet. We did a total of 4 different character meals our last trip because I feel like spending a little bit of extra money is worth it, because otherwise you're spending your time in the parks waiting to meet characters, and you could be riding rides or waiting in line for rides. Anyway, everything I had was amazing. Liberty Tree Tavern, the Ooey Gooey Toffee Cake. I haven't had this, but it is considered a classic. And I mean, if you're a fan of toffee, then why wouldn't you check it out? The Plaza Restaurant, Plaza Loaded Fries. If you know anything about Magic Kingdom history, then you'll recognize these fries. They are the exact same recipe as the Figaro fries they used to serve at Pinocchio Village House. Delicious. Jungle Company blah, 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 blah. Skipper Canteen. SEA Shumai. This is another one I haven't tried yet, and I've heard very mixed reviews. However, this looks amazing, and I love the restaurant's theming. It's definitely a very nice addition to Adventureland. The Diamond Horseshoe Cowboy Mac. Like I said before, I love mac and cheese. That being said though, this is a pricier restaurant for what you're gonna get. If you're gonna pay that kind of money for this kind of down home cooking meal, I would say skip this and take a night to do the Hoop-Dee-Doo review at Disney's Fort Wilderness Lodge. It's the same kind of food, but with a fun dinner show too. Be Our Guest, Escargot. This one is so low on my list because it just doesn't measure up to the hype. The lunch and dinner menus sound very fancy, but I have heard that the breakfast definitely isn't worth it. I haven't been able to get a reservation for this, and maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Cinderella's Royal Table, the Princess Character Meal with shrimp and grits. Again, this is an exceedingly expensive meal. Not Vic and Al's expensive, but still the most expensive meal in the entire park. The princesses that go around to greet you are great. And I have heard that everyone should do this at least once in their lifetime. Okay, your special challenge. It's a sweet snack challenge. Your terms, if you choose to accept them, are to eat a sweet treat from every land or part of Magic Kingdom. I'll list them out and you try them and let me know what you thought of them or if you were able to complete the challenge below in the comments. Now, it doesn't have to be in this order, but these items are the best of the best from each land or part of Magic Kingdom, in my opinion. Main Street, USA. The Donut Sundae from the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. Adventureland, the Pineapple Dole Whip Cup. Liberty Square, the Fruit and Nutella Waffle Sandwich from Sleepy Hollow. Frontierland, the churros with dipping sauce at Pecos Bill Inn and Cafe. Fantasyland, the Cheshire Cattail Pastry from the Cheshire Cafe. Storybook Circus, a candy apple from Big Top Treats. Tomorrowland, Edna's No Capes, Just Crepes Sundae at Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies. Good luck to everyone up to the challenge. Wow, that was a long and thorough episode. I think I need a nap. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be posting the Epcot episode as soon as humanly possible, so do subscribe and hit the bell for a notification on when I drop that. Next week, we'll be discussing how to make the most out of your Hollywood Studio and Animal Kingdom trips. I'll discuss the exact same points I did today, but I don't know if I'm going to break them up into separate episodes yet. Check back every Tuesday and become a How-Tooligan by subscribing below. Click the bell for notifications on when I post new content, and be sure to comment and introduce yourself and let me know what you'd be interested in seeing. Thanks for stopping by.